Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast, adding games both new and old to your backlog, one slightly inappropriate episode at a time. My name is Amanda, and I'm full of fish today. Joining me is Christian.
I've been picking up pee and poo all day.
Yikes. And Taylor.
I just found out that robot aliens might exist.
Oh,
Wow. That's a little concerning. Little Terminator kind of action mixed with aliens. That's creepy. All right. Well, this week we're going to be talking about Warhammer 40k Gladius, Relics of War, Nine Kings, and Subnautica 2. But first, guys, what's new? Taylor, let's start with you.
Yeah, so I made it back from Las Vegas. It was a nice trip. I got to see my little sister walk the stage as she received her diploma from university.
wonderful. What a great
Such a
So
proud
nice.
moment.
Yeah.
Congrats.
And we took her out to dinner to Fogo de Chao, had a lovely, if you're not familiar, that's the place where they have meat, like different types of steaks and meats on skewers. And they walk
so good.
around to all the tables and they just chop you off pieces of it. And you get unlimited meat.
It's a house of meat.
Yes. And then
Yeah.
I went to one of those places, and the salad bars, I will say, were strategically placed. They try to tempt you with, they're like, oh, come to the free buffet. Look at, and it's like has the brightest lights on it, and it's immaculate and clean, and someone's always there attending to you.
It's
How could you not go over
beautiful.
there and check it out? But then you're
And the
not
stuff
getting as
in the
much
salad
meat.
bar is good too. It's
Oh,
like
it's
they make
amazing.
good stuff.
Yeah,
But you're there for the meat sweats. That's what you're there for.
Yeah.
that's what I'm here for. Yeah.
That's what I saved up room. But she was so excited. She had been looking forward to it for weeks. So happy we got to take her.
That's awesome.
But as far as PC gaming news goes, I've just been working on cleaning up my PC file system. I have years upon years of poor organization and random downloads and documents and files that have accumulated on my computer.
So much porn.
I will say I'm really thankful for having OneDrive because
You and this fucking what? No, just
Yeah, he's
got
a huge stan of OneDrive. That's
I
true.
am.
every time,
I'm
every
a big
time.
OneDrive stan. Christian hates it. I don't know why he hates it.
I maybe it's just because I'm not using it properly, but I get too many prompts on my computer that's like, do you want to back this up to OneDrive? And I'm like, no, I never.
I don't get any
if
prompts.
if I want to put something on OneDrive, I'll drag it over. Okay. I
Right.
hate clicking into OneDrive and figuring out that it's already backed up a bunch of shit. I'm like, what? This is
For me,
no.
it's a seamless experience. Everything backs up as it should, and it's very easy to manage. I've got a terabyte of storage, so I'm not even close to running out.
Nice.
And I don't know. I love my OneDrive. So
He really
we
does.
should reach
folks.
we should reach out to OneDrive. They should sponsor us. I think
they should.
Why not?
We should get sponsored by OneDrive. But
Yeah.
I do have
I
a
still
question
won't use it. No.
for the two. It's so much. Okay, I'm just going to say this. It's so much better than Google Drive. Google Drive sucks.
Oh.
And I'm willing to fight anyone who thinks otherwise. But
I think we should take two Beetles, one blue and one, I don't know what chrome we're going to use, like slight yellow one. And we should just settle it. We should settle it for all time.
Okay, yeah.
Just get them in the ring and see what happens.
Beetle
Beetle
fight.
fight. Yeah.
Beetle fight.
Beetle fight for
My-
drives.
My question to the two of you is: are PC cleaner / optimizer programs something that you use, and are they still useful in the year of 2026?
Yes.
Like if you remember, like
100%.
CC Cleaner or
Mhm.
those other
I
programs
don't use that
like
one.
that.
I download this program called Double Click My C Drive, select all, delete. And then when something pops up that says, you don't want to delete this, you're going to have to be an admin because it'll really affect you. I say, yeah, don't delete that. That's a good point. And then everything else goes away. and I breathe in and I breathe out, and I go, I did it.
Dude, that's
So you're
like
doing
a
this-
wildfire fucking method. Holy shit. You're like,
Right,
I'm just
you're
going to
doing this
burn the whole fort.
manually?
Yeah. No, he's basically doing a mass delete of all of it. And then when it
Of
goes, hey, are
all
you
of
sure you
C
want to do
drive.
it? He goes, you're right. I don't. Thank you. I won't do that one. That's
a
dude,
crazy
that's
thing.
brave.
Well, they pop up individually. They're like, do you want to delete like DLX 33 or something integral to your system? And you're like, no, I didn't.
No, I do
No,
not.
thank you, by the way.
Okay.
Sorry, is this shocking? I
a
like
little
this
bit,
method.
yeah. I think it's a little shocking.
My computer fills up and I don't want to go through most of these are like downloads or some bullshit
Right.
or some program I downloaded that went in my program files folder that I'm never going to use except for the one time I needed it. And now that's there forever and I don't know what's important and not. So I just say,
Get rid of it all.
Yeah, I have 4 terabytes in a separate drive that I purposefully drag stuff that I know I always want to store, like photos and videos. Everything else is just fucking is random bullshit. Although sometimes it bites me in the ass because I go to double click a program and it's like, you don't have this anymore. And I'm like, oh.
It's not there. Yeah. See, I keep all my
That's why-
photos and videos and things I want to keep on OneDrive,
Which
which also makes it accessible from my phone. But
Yes.
I
anyway.
had that, but with Google Photos, dude. Oh my gosh, great.
Yeah, except that Google Photos is just worse. But
Yeah.
I don't agree. It's nice.
Well,
I can
until
go
the
into my
Beatles,
search. That's true.
guys, we
that's
shouldn't
true,
fight
that's
until the
true, that's
Beatles get
true.
to it. I
yeah,
think.
we need the Beatles.
I don't have any standing. I probably could use a
Like,
cleaner.
Amanda, you don't use a cleaner?
I should. I think on the
Okay.
complete opposite spectrum of Christian. I just keep it. Like it's collecting dust.
clutter
and it's
it
okay.
up.
I'm a pack rat. I might need that. I might need that one PDF from like 2 years ago that had like a receipt
true.
of something I don't remember. I might need that.
Yes,
No,
I agree.
I should clean actually, and I probably would use a like cleaner optimizer. But
All right. Well,
don't
now
know.
I need to find one since Christian's method is an insane person's way of doing it. So
He's
maybe
so
if any of
brave.
the listeners have advice, I'd love to hear
Yeah.
from them.
Make sure you're not deleting things as an admin because then I'm pretty sure it won't ask you. I don't know for sure, but it feels like
Right.
it only, you have to be like
You want to be a
user.
regular user. Yeah.
Yeah. That's important safeguard I've built into my system. The safeguard I didn't build into my system was that I spilled a cup of water on my keyboard and it's gone forever. I
Right.
talked about this last week. And I have avenged my keyboard. I have bought the Keychron V1 Ultra 8K. I don't know what V1 Ultra
It's
or
8K?
8K means. Don't know what that means, but that's what's on the box. Yes.
I
What
feel
is
like
the 8K?
8K is double 4K, right?
That's true. Yeah.
double the clicks, dude. Double the.
Is it double the clicks?
I'm not sure.
Double
actually.
the cool?
There's
Someone tell
there's
me.
one right there, but like I don't know.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
very
a
I
cool.
feel like it's good. That
It's- I'm
whatever
sure
it
it's
is,
good.
it's
It's gotta
a
be.
good thing.
but far worse than the 12K, I'm sure. It's the 75% keyboard, which I was calling them 3/4. I don't know what people use, but it's without the numpad. It's my first keyboard without a numpad, and I don't miss it. Now that
Really?
space is where my mouse goes. Yeah.
I
was
love my
putting
numpad.
Well, I was putting some numbers into a spreadsheet and I went to reach for my old friend and it wasn't there. And it took me maybe 2 or 3 seconds longer. And I was like, you know what? I think this has been overhyped. Unless I'm like a accountant or someone who deals with numbers
Right.
all day
You're
long.
not typing numbers in the spreadsheets all day. You're doing
Not
it
all day.
occasionally.
Yeah, maybe for 10 minutes at a time. Nothing crazy.
No, I'd be so scared. I'd be so scared to lose my buddy. I love the
It-
numpad, dude.
I
Yes,
love my
it is a
numpad,
scary
and
step.
like certain games require it. Like Arma 3 has so many keybinds that they
Yeah, now you
use
can't
the
play Arma
numpad.
3.
Like that's how you individually turn your head in Arma 3 is with the numpad.
Oh,
That's okay. That's crazy, but understood. Arma 3 hardcore
maybe
hardcore
you just
experience.
need one of the mice that have all the numbers on the side to replace the
What
number.
I really
I could
a
upgrade
separate
it.
pad. But what I really want to know about this new keyboard, this Keychron,
Yes, sir.
what are the switches like?
The switches are red linear switches, so silent, so deadly. What was I playing? Did I re-download Insurgency Sandstorm in a dark moment this week? I did. Played for 20 minutes. Was like, oh, gotta get this off my computer.
Only 20 minutes. That's impressive.
That's really good self-discipline. Yeah.
I
Good
think
for
it was
you.
like an hour and a half, and I went to bed an hour past my bedtime. But we won't. It's fine.
Good.
It's a brief period of my life. It doesn't define me. I define it by moving past it and through it. So they're so silent, these red switches, that usually people heard me typing on my mic. Because by the way, the keyboard I had before, it had stealth in the title. So fucking loud, like so loud. And when I'm on multiplayer games, I don't have like a noise gate or anything. So everyone hears everything. This is so quiet, and the keys feel amazing to type on. Why I got the 75% keyboard is because it was $20 cheaper than the 100%. And I thought, I'll save $20. And then the really silent keys were another $20. And the guy said, what comes with this, the switches that come with this are likely going to be silent enough, like, unless you're in like a recording studio. And I went, well, have you heard of the DLG? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Have you? But anyways, so he was like, try it out. Then you can always come back. And these are only $20. And
so you got it from a local shop.
Yeah. Canadian Computers. They just got a new location here on McLeod Trail. This is not a sponsored section, by the way. But,
we
very
need them
specific
to
with the shop.
us.
Yeah. And everyone there was great. They had the keyboards out so I could test everything. And it did feel really silent. I was like, okay, I'll see what my mic picks up. Why did I wait so long? I had this other keyboard for 10 years. $120 was between me and a typing experience that I can only describe as 3 times as good.
Wow.
Wow.
Like, what have I been doing with my life? It's not like I'm on the street begging for change here, right? Like I could have made this I could have purchased this at any time. And so if you're out there on the fence, you're like, I have a keyboard, it works fine. Go to Canadian Computer or go to your local shop, the one where they actually have the keyboards out, and just treat yourself to.
That's the thing. So many places don't have the keyboards out.
Yeah, and why not? I'm not going to buy.
Right.
Like,
you need to be able to test it. And the other thing, there's 2 items that I feel like stores need to put out, and they don't. One is the keyboards, and the other is headphones.
Right.
You need to be able to test them out physically. And like no stores, like Best Buy doesn't do it.
Most
Micro
Best
Center
Buys I go
doesn't do
to
it.
do have keyboards. You're right about the headsets for sure. They need to have more headsets. But dude, I take great joy walking down the keyboard aisle in Best Buy anytime I can, just to clickety clack on all their keyboards.
Nice.
I think it's fun.
It just feels
super nice.
insane to me that you could be spending, let's say, $200 on a headset and have no idea what it sounds like.
I do agree with that. There needs to be more like trials of the headsets for sure.
Speaking of the click clacks, I brought Mara with me, a little adventure down there. And I was like, look, we're going to get a keyboard. We're going to the clicky clack. And the whole time on the way there, she's like, clicky clack, clicky clack. And then she's there and there's like 20 keyboards and they light up and they're, they're visually interesting.
She must have had a
you
dream.
best believe my daughter was clickety clacking. She's 1.5.
love it.
She's fucking amazed by these keyboards. I was trying to teach her Mara, M-A-R-A. I mean, I do that all the time when she visits me when I'm at work because I work from home. So far hasn't nailed how to spell her name, but I think it's coming. And the keyboard makes it
She's
so
getting
simple.
closer.
Yeah. Anyways,
That's
that's
awesome.
what's new with me. Amanda, what's new with you?
Nice. What's new with me is there are too many goddamn good games coming out this fucking month, guys. I feel like you could say that about most games, about most months, sorry, but like, damn, this month is hot is what I wrote. Because, dude, I can't keep up. I'm sitting here like, okay, I'm getting really into Subnautica 2, sick. All of a sudden, boom, Coffee Talk Tokyo comes out. Shit. Then it's like, oh, Paralives is coming out. And we got Zero Parades. And we've got Forza 6 for the people that like it. There's Mixtape.
You're
007
buried.
First
You're under
Light.
the
I'm
rubble.
like,
Someone help Amanda. Jeez.
Jeez. I'm like, how do I get out of this? I don't. I'm just going to go from one game to the other and just no life. But I'm just going to dive.
You need to get like Suyasha's computer that's behind you and be playing multiple games at the same time.
Yes.
He would be like, get off, I have work to do. Okay. No,
I have
but
work to do
they're
too.
so-
Subnautica 2 and Coffee Talk Tokyo. God.
Yeah, right. I've got to learn the story, make coffee for people, and I've got to harvest all of the fish that I can. Yeah, no. And speaking of diving into that, there is Oceanfest on Steam that is still going on until May 25th. Speaking of Subnautica, they have Subnautica 1 and the Sub-Zero, I think, DLC or expansion. They are super cheap. There are a ton of really cool demos related to ocean and fishing and water. And so check it out. Even the day after this episode goes live, it will still be going on. So check it out. But that's all that's new. And
Sounds like Amanda has gotten wet and wild in Oceanfest.
all right, let's do that bumper again.
She's full of fish.
So guys, speaking of wet and wild, what did you play, Christian?
Oh, yes. The wettest and wildest game on our lineup today. The game I played is called Nine Kings. Guys, I am exhausted. And luckily, this game is for the exhausted people out there. I'm not alone. I know
Okay.
if you're listening, there's a high chance you too are likely exhausted. So Nine Kings is a roguelike kingdom builder, all about adjacency bonuses and how different strategies of the Nine Kings synergize. Yeah, there's that word, synergize.
I love
Thank
synergize and adjacency bonus. 2 words,
Fuck.
adjacency bonuses. Yes.
God. Talk roguelike to be. Okay. Also, there are 9 kings in this game, so the title is accurate, and I love that. In this house, it is potty training time. Work is stressful ahead of
Okay.
Summer Games Fest. There's so much to do. And summer itself, separate from job or work or whatever, is just really exciting. There's so much to do. And so the 1.0 release of Nine Kings, which is, I've played this game before quite a bit. I think I have around 30 hours in it in the early access phase. When I saw the news that 1.0 came out, I was like, perfect. I'm at a time in my life where these numbers go up games, which I have criticized before, are literally the only cogs that my mind can do at the end of the day.
All you've got the capacity for.
I don't have the juice
okay.
for nothing else. Yeah. So I want to kind of spotlight the factions just a little bit. So the King of Nothing, there's 9 kings. They all have their own deck and play style. The first one is the King of Nothing. That's like your basic king, the King of Nothing. He's boring. It's all about unit count. King of Spells, spoiler alert, it's about spells and stacking area effects. There's a King of Greed, which is about money and speed. There's a King of Blood, which is about sacrifice and death. There's a King of Nature, which is about HP and summons. King of Stone, that's your tower and walls. King of Progress, that's late game scaling. And the 2 new kings that came with 1.0 are King of Nomads, which is movement and self-destruction. So in this game, there's 9x9 plots, and you are supposed to build these permanent structures and upgrade them and have the adjacency bonuses work together. And then they throw a king in there that's like, by the way, now you can get cards that move your buildings around. Have good luck. And so the possibilities. And then there's the King of Time, which is just Marty McFly. You go back in time. And the game scales
Comes
with
the
time.
hoverboard.
Yeah, he just flies right in there. It's like the Age of Empires 2 cheat. What did you type in to get the floating car that could kill one shot?
Yeah,
What was
I forget the code. Man,
God.
games need to bring the codes back.
I
They
agree.
need to bring the codes back.
the
Public
mother
cheats.
load of codes. Yeah.
The mother. It's really fun to synergize across these kings. I mean, this game is not new, right? You've likely heard us talk about it before. I played it, Bobby played it. Now I'm talking about it again. Whatever army you defeat on your roguelite battle, you get a card from. So if you are the King of Nothing and you're against the King of Stone, you're going to get some towers and walls likely to choose from, and you're going to add that to your deck, and maybe you're going to add that to the plots that you're building your little city on and have some adjacency bonuses work there. And so every run is completely different. There's so many strategies you can use to win, and it's such an addicting and it's just a really well-designed game because it's not accidental that almost all the synergies happen on all of your runs, right?
Mhm.
Like sometimes with these roguelites, you're like, oh, I got this weapon, it's not so good. I got this boon. How do these work together? And they really don't. If you play something like Hades, that almost never happens. All the different gods give you something that work with
They will
playing
always
the
work
game.
together in some way.
Yes, and that's the same thing in this game, and they've just totally nailed it. I put an example here. I don't know if this is going to come through good on audio, but the King of Nothing has a farm that gives adjacent units 1+ unit every turn, and the King of Blood has a tower that kills a unit every turn for 2+ damage. So you see where this is going. You put the farm down, your units get 1, you put the tower down. Now you have a scaling tower that's going to go throughout the whole game, scaling damage. The King of Greed has a beacon that can speed up that tower. The King of Stone has a quarry that gives all towers 0.2. Off you go. If you get those cards in that order, you are off on a tower and wall run probably, because you have these scaling units and you've built your deck in this way. So 1.0, from what I can tell, maybe I played, I don't know, around 10 hours of it this week. It's exactly more of the same of what this game already was, and that's exactly what I wanted. So thank fucking God.
Question.
Yes.
Who's your favorite king?
I've been playing a lot the King of Greed. Something about the money and speed, because they have a lot of units that are like, every turn you gain gold, this unit gains additional speed. Then they have specific buildings that gain speed separately from that. And it's all about scaling money and speed together. Usually you want to spend your money as much as possible, but when you're with the King of Greed, you want to keep it. And so you're playing a little bit differently.
Which one do you think is the hardest to kind of crack and win with?
I would say the King of Progress. Just getting the late game scaling is pretty difficult. Lots of restarts.
Hard to get to that point.
Yeah, because if you fuck up, well, there's no real fucking up, but you get all these cards that are like, okay, every turn your units are going to gain 1 damage or 1% damage, or if you get 3 of these cards and bundle them together, all your units are going to level up. And so you're collecting, and if you collect too much, then obviously you're not going to meet the level at hand that's in front of you. And so it's always a balance of, oh, this is going to be really good in like 15 turns from now, and oh, I'm fucked right now.
Right. I need help 1 turn from now, not 15.
Exactly. So it's difficult. That's the one at least I have the most difficult with.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's very cool.
I have a cue for you guys on this. What is your holy fuck I have no time for gaming game?
Ooh, good question.
I think it's the only time that I would like really want to play any game that has some sort of like a roguelike mechanic, because that is really good for that. You kind of jump in, you do your thing, and then it's fucking done. And every time you play it, it's going to be like the same, but different a little bit. So like, I think back to the times when like I had no time, and it was like Risk of Rain 2 was really great to play during that time.
Yeah.
Helldivers 2, Deep Rock Galactic, those kind of games are going to be great because you just kind of go in a level and like take out stuff and then come back and it's fine. Like I feel like recently the mouse PI for hire actually could work, actually, because it's a level based thing that you jump in like Mario.
These change for me over time, obviously, but like in the past, it was League of Legends. Like I could sit down, I could play 1 round of League of Legends and be done, and it was like 45 minutes at most. Or Magic the Gathering Arena, same idea. You know, it's like a 30-minute thing, and then you're done. And you don't have to worry about a story or something and finding the right place to stop. It happens and you're done. So I think, and I agree with Amanda too, with like either roguelike, like Terratech Legion that I recently got addicted to fits the bill, or those kind of match-based games.
Match-based games, totally. Yep.
Yeah.
I have, before we leave Nine Kings, I have a little theory, and I don't know if anyone ever has talked about this before. Probably someone has had these thoughts, and maybe this is out there. But the rise of the popularity of roguelikes, I think, is sort of mirroring this real-world stress that people are under, or they have multiple jobs, or they're under further financial pressures. The world is a crazy place, and the world has always been sort of crazy, but the amount of hours most people work is higher than it's ever been. People are more productive than they've ever been. People have more of a likelihood of taking home their work to their private life on their phone or their desktop computer. And so these stress levels in the society at large are rising, the people with disposable income who are gaming. And so at the same time, this genre of game that just gives you everything and feels really good and is really simple and is really random and is almost a slot machine numbers go up games, those are getting very popular. And so this is my shower theory. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I don't know if this is true. This is not scientific at all, but let me know if you guys are listening to this, what you think of that theory and if that maybe mirrors what happens in your own life. Like, how do you feel when you play these roguelike games? Are you usually under stress or pressure, or are you genuinely playing them just kind of for the love of the game?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a great theory. I really like that. I'd like to investigate that more, because you're right with the rise of the genre. But then I'm going to be curious too when, say, GTA comes out soon, which is the opposite of that type of game. Will people be playing that as their cooldown?
I wonder if there's two camps, right? Like, I think that there are the kind of people who, when there's so much going on and so much busyness going on in your brain, it helps to take all of that and put it somewhere. And like numbers go up, games, roguelike games, even like puzzle games probably work well for some people. It's kind of like their zen, their way to calm down, because it's a way to put all that energy while you're on this like high somewhere. And then there's probably some people that do want something, and I would put myself in this, of like a zen garden. It's why I love crafting survivals for this exact reason. It's like a way for me to just zone out. It doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to turn my brain off. And so
kind of thoughtless grind.
Yeah. And I feel like the sandbox games are kind of like that. Like GTA, I would put in that same category. Like, there's a reason why so many people will just spend hours, and I think Christian has said it before in the past, I used to do it too, just spend hours driving around the car, following the fucking traffic laws, and that's it. But that it's like therapeutic. It's calming. It's a good way to shut off your brain. But I think both are true. And I think that there is a rise still of the sandbox and like crafting survival games as well as like roguelites. And I think it's just, how do you relax after a long, stressful day? Do you need to put all your brain power somewhere else? But in a way that isn't like building like a story or like getting through something, and not something too difficult, but something challenging enough that it's distracting you? Or do you just need to like brain rot it and just and just chill out and turn it off completely?
Theories brought to you by the DLG Podcast.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear people's thoughts about it, what they think, or what they play when they are too busy. Yeah,
we need to make a study. We'll get a study going.
I think, why not? How hard can a study be? Takes a couple rounds of 9 Kings at least, right, or less.
Yeah.
Taylor, what did you play this week?
So this week I played a game called Warhammer 40K Gladius Relics of War. So I'm continuing with the extremely long game titles.
I love the theme. Yeah.
But this is a 4X hex grid game. Kind of similar to Civilization in that way. Although it's much more combat focused than Civ is. This game has a ton of expansions. I checked on Steam. There's $102 worth of DLCs available for this.
So it is like Civ or Civ 5
and that's
at
with
least.
the bundle discount.
Wow.
So yeah, there's new races, there's new scenarios, maps, etc., etc., etc.
I love these type of games, by the way, Taylor, and I must be under a fucking rock. I had no idea there was a Warhammer Civ-like game.
Right. Yeah, no, it was kind of news to me. I think I got it in a Humble Bundle or something, and it's been in my Steam library for years. I just didn't realize that I had it, because in my Steam library, I've probably got 10 or 15 Warhammer 40K games.
Oh, yeah.
And they're
kind of
all
blend
right
together
next
at that
to
point.
each other, you know,
Oh,
because
yeah.
they all start with the Warhammer. And so I was browsing through looking for something to play this week and saw that. And I was like, ooh, this a 4X Warhammer game. Let's give that a shot.
Sweet. Okay.
You build cities that you use to produce resources, and there are tiles with resources on them that you want to build next to, so you can get influence or you can get valor, etc. Kind of like in Civ, where you would get silk trading goods or something.
Yeah.
And the cities are kind of small and mainly focused on building your economy and producing your combat units.
So is the combat what makes this different from Civ, or is it safe to say this is like a Civ clone and they've done a little something with the combat?
I'd say it is a very focused version of a Civ clone. So, there's no culture victories here. There's no science victories, so it's a stripped down type of Civ with combat being a main focus or domination being main focus. Although playing through, I haven't put a ton of time into it. I played through the tutorial and started a game. And what I will say is that so far, I'm not digging it.
No? Oh,
Yeah.
bummer.
Surprisingly, because I love Civilization. I love these 4X games.
Yeah.
And I'm a Warhammer fan. It's like this game was made
What a bummer.
for me.
Yeah.
But so far, the combat has felt extremely slow. So I've got my unit of Space Marines that are occupying a tile, and there's an enemy unit of Necrons or Orcs or whoever. And I move, and then I tell them to shoot at the bad guys. And they shoot and do a tiny little bit of damage. Like I need to end up attacking the enemy unit 9 times before they die.
9.
Jeez.
9
Just like the
kings, 9
kings,
times.
yeah.
9 is the
So-
number.
The combat is taking for frickin' ever. And obviously, you're probably supposed to build more units and upgrade them more and stuff to kill things faster.
Yeah.
But at least at the beginning, it just takes too many turns to be killing units. The heroes that you can make are not super impactful.
Oh, that's a bummer.
So, I make my Space Marine captain with a power sword, and he's, supposed to be as strong as 10 regular Space Marines. And I send him into battle, and, he does more damage, but not a lot. And it's
Like
not
a
like
little
he
bit.
has just a little bit more. And it's not even like he has a cool aura, like
Right.
all
Well,
surrounding units get a bonus.
that was my or not exactly with the aura, but I wanted to know if this game focuses on combat. Does it at least have in Civ 5, the cool animations that would play?
It does have
the
animations.
bombing runs, and then it'd have a
Mhm.
sound like meow. You'd be like, "Oh, I'm in it now. It's World War II."
The sound design is pretty decent, and you do get the animations, and the different unit types all have their own separate animations. So like my standard Space Marines are shooting their bolt guns. My captain he walks up into them and swings his sword around. One of the alien enemies are like flying guys, and they kind of like swoop around. So they did a good job with that. But the UI in general is not terribly intuitive. Same with the resources. The readability isn't as good as I'd like.
It seems like
and-
someone's favorite game.
I'm sure
like,
it is.
What you're describing is like if someone played Star Wars Rebellion now and they were like, actually, it's not really, like, it's not intuitive. It takes a long time. By the way, what's going on with the UI? It's like you're looking through the shuttle or the window of a Nebulon B-52 frigate that takes up 80% of the screen, and the UI is like really tiny for some reason on the actual game that you play.
Right.
And I'm like, but yeah, that's my favorite
Yeah.
game, dude.
I'm sure that this is someone's favorite, probably multiple people's favorite game, but
Well, let's not get crazy.
for me, it's just not quite there for me. Like, and another annoyance is that there are pieces of terrain that damage you for walking on them. And like they damage you a lot, like far more than getting attacked by an enemy damages you. And they're not marked. So
just
hard to see the marbles, dude. Hard to see the marbles.
You can see like, on the terrain that, like, oh, it's got like bumpy thorns on it or something, but it's not like it's outlined in red and says like this is damaging terrain or anything. So it was really easy to just walk my guys into
deadly thorns.
Into deadly thorns.
We've all deep dived into some bush and been like, that's a spiky bush, dude. Probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah.
But there's a ton of content available for this. So if you're the person this is your favorite game, there is so much content available. And it goes on sale all the time. So those are some positives. My kind of question to you guys, though, is about that. Like, what do you consider a good amount of DLC? At what point does it become predatory? And maybe they're having things that probably should have been in the base game.
DLC on release, obviously, that's a big one.
Okay.
I'm like, that should be in the base game. Why are you giving me this right at the top? DLC, I think, is at a strange point for me. I really love being able to purchase more content for a game, and I understand it all takes development time. That's all good with me. It starts feeling predatory when oftentimes with something like Stellaris or City Skylines, they will sell like a season's pass, and it'll be like, you get the first 4 DLC with, if you pay $60, and you're like, okay, I'm going to save like 20 or $30 and I'll just be in my library. Don't have to worry about it. But then they'll do this thing where they'll hype up the next pack of DLC, and then you're like, okay, well, what did you pick and choose to be in this pack? Because there's one really cool thing and 3 kind of shitty things that don't really feel like they're DLC, and you're just calling it separate entities. And now in the next DLC, you're announcing all this other stuff. So I have to buy this other bundle, or I'm being encouraged to buy this other bundle I don't have to. So how these bundles are put together and what they choose to put in it sometimes feels a little off to me, where I'm like, bro, you're calling City Parks and Benches its own bundle? No.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff should have just been in an update, like not a separate purchasable item.
Or cheaper, like a much cheaper one then. Like, I think The Sims did things like that in the very beginning. Now The Sims became predatory with that, where it was like, again, have a pass, have a bundle, and it's like they're considering a fucking decor pack from Halloween like an entire DLC. It's same price as other stuff, and like that's ridiculous. But back in the day, I do remember, like with Sims 1 and Sims 2, those kind of cosmetic things, they were sold at a much cheaper price because they were cosmetic. They weren't like a full-blown expansion, and it was more of it, and so that was fine. I also have seen like season pass be really great, like for Ark Survival Evolved in the beginning, they did a season pass, and you got like 4 or 5 totally different maps that could connect with each other with absolutely different dinosaurs and creatures on them, different story. Like, they were full-fledged like DLCs that came a part of that pass, and the pass was like $20.
Pack.
Exactly. Yeah. So I've seen them do it well, but I do think that once you start pricing everything as being the same with DLCs, even though the content in those DLCs are not at the same caliber, that's when it's becoming predatory. Because I'm with Christian. I think that like certain games like Fallout was a good example, where like there are DLCs later on that they then release, and it feels like thick enough that you're like, yeah, this makes sense, this warrants it, and even I could even see like Anno, some of the things too, I could kind of see that, but even then I think it just depends on the DLC and the frequency, and again, whether it's like bullshit or not, and the pricing. I think it matters a lot more about the pricing.
Maybe it's also like the display of it. Like, this is like, I don't know, maybe like a boomer moment, but if it pops up in game when I'm playing,
Yeah.
if it's like a grayed out entity that I can't click on, it's like get the DLC, and then I click on it and it pops me up to the Steam store page. I'm just sort of filled with rage that has nowhere to go.
Right.
Certainly, I'm not buying it. I think most of the time,
At that
at least,
point, you're not going to buy it out of principle.
I might just close the game and stop playing because I'm like, oh, well, I see what you're doing here, and that's shitty, you know, like
Yeah.
just dangling it in front of my face purposefully.
That's some mobile game level monetization.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, moving into the beefy, fishy, meaty part of the show, guys, we're going to talk about
fishy, meaty,
very meaty. And I did a real shit job of not even putting the fucking game that I'm going to talk about in my thing, but we all know what it is. It's Subnautica 2. I, full disclosure, have never played Subnautica 1 or Sub-Zero. So I went in with complete virgin eyes to this game.
Only virgin eyes.
Yeah, the only thing that I knew about Subnautica was that you swam, you were underwater, and there were some crazy looking fishies. And that's it. That's the extent that I knew. And my great friend Abs was like, hey, you should get this game. And then I saw it was co-op and I was like, done. So, because my biggest reason why I never tried Subnautica 1 is I was like, I feel like this level of a crafting survival game needs to have co-op as an option. Like, I'm not just going to sit for hours spending my time building a base if I don't get to enjoy that with somebody. Like,
you want to enjoy it, you want to show it off, you want to
I wanted
collaborate.
I want us to make it together and then have adventures together. Because what's so great about these kind of games is that, like, I have my moments where I'm like, yes, I'm at the house and I'm just building we're putting in a new room and, like, it's all exciting and decorated and it's fantastic. And I used to get made fun of being called the Martha Stewart of art because I would just, like, completely design it. And then I'd be like, all right,
you know Snoop Dogg? You know Snoop Dogg? That's crazy.
That's the other way I play. That's when I smoke and go flying on a dragon for like 4 hours. But yes, Puffs and Magic Dragon. Anyway, but then I love, like, everything's all set up. We've got everything stocked and let's go on an adventure together. Like, I love doing that too. And so I feel like Subnautica 2 is really nailing that, actually. It's super fun. It is a crafting survival game, obviously, if you can tell by the way I'm gushing about it, but it's set in like an alien oceanic world around this like huge tree that is like sprouting out of the ocean. No, not on Earth. I don't really know where it's on because I'll get into it. That I will say, one of the things I'm a little confused about is I don't think the story is as clear as it could be, but I will get into that. You essentially discover and follow these clues as to why scientists before you had disappeared. You're like, what happened to them? So you search these underwater ruins and these labs and these like destroyed ships, and you're looking for these like holotapes that are voice acted to hear different snippets of things going on, and you kind of follow that. You also can find these, they call them the NOA, like robots. They kind of look like these big webcams. And they have like data written on them and certain logs. So you kind of like piece together what's going on or what happened before you as you're discovering these things. But again, if this is a continuation from 1 or Sub-Zero, I obviously don't know what the hell I'm talking about because I just jumped into Subnautica 2 like I'm here to party. So the story
I'm here to be wet. And be
here to get wet and wild. That's what we're doing. So like, yeah. And so I'm just trying to go with it. But what's cool about this one is, and seems to be new, is that there's a virus that's infecting the biomes that a lot of the scientists are studying. And you are also trying to kind of clear and purge a lot of this virus from those biomes. And that part is like kind of wild and kind of cool because as you clear these different viral blooms, you can unlock these adaptations, which will allow you to like resist heat or go deeper or have more oxygen or be able to eat the fish that are there.
Go deeper.
You go deeper, and this game goes pretty damn deep in a lot of ways, in that there are I mean, there are a lot of biodiversity already. This game is in early access, and I just feel like there is so much fucking shit here for an early access game. I love it. It's shit isn't
How
good,
many
like
fish?
good.
How many fish would you say?
God,
Like
so
how many types of fish?
Ooh.
Probably in the 20s or 30s, which might not sound like a lot, but at the
Oh.
same time, the things that you can do and use and the different resources, like there's so many different kinds of ore and stuff like that. And also just like a side little nerdy thing, because I've taken a lot of chemistry classes. It is very satisfying to be playing this game with another nerdy scientist, like because we have organized all of our stuff and everything is labeled by chemical name, like not by the name. Like I'm not putting
Nice.
silver, I'm putting AG, and like I'm not putting lead, I'm putting PB, and so like everything is just like all
You have the
organized.
periodic
and it's
table of the
like,
elements. Welcome
That's
to my
right.
Do you know
storage
what-
closet.
Do you know what PB stands for?
It's argon to what's the last thing?
polymobidium or something, I think.
No.
No, what? Yeah,
Plumbum,
plumbum. Ah, well, my chemistry
which is
classes
just
have
a
failed
fun
me.
word.
But it's a fun
Plumbum.
word. Plumbum. But
Plumbum.
and there are things there that look like a plumbus if you've watched Rick and Morty. And there's weird things. So they've got all kinds of different stuff there. There are predatory fish, there are fish that you can collect and cook and eat. There are these like really colorful, kind of beautiful slugs that are on the ground that are super vibrant and pretty. And I feel so bad in ways because when you go up to them, they like literally get scared and like jump, and you collect them so that way you can smash them down and turn them into fresh water. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
like
rough.
what are we doing here? Yeah, but no, it's I think this game is so good. Like I said, the first Subnautica and the Sub-Zero are on a deep sale right now, so I think I might pick it up. But I really love the co-op, and the co-op, the multiplayer is super easy in this already. They have really streamlined and made it totally accessible. You can create a friend code that will allow you to do crossplay with Xbox and PlayStation players. I will test that out because my brother has been playing and he only plays on Xbox, so we are going to try and play a game together. But otherwise, like joining off of your Steam friends or inviting your friends in the game is super easy. You can play a single player game and then just turn it at the dime of the
Is
hat
it like
to
drop in, drop out? Like
Yep, yeah. So,
you
but
can
the
be
host has to
playing
have
and then
the
have
save.
someone just show up.
No, I think you have to accept them if they want to join in your game while you're in the middle of playing. Like I remember a pop-up being like, Abs is trying to join your game, and then you say yes.
That's what I meant, but not like you have to start a fresh game that is like a co-op game.
Nope. And what's really cool is you can start a single player game, and then you could get to a point where a friend's like, hey, I want to see what your progress is. So you can turn your single player game into a hosting multiplayer one, and then they can join in, and then you can turn it back into single player. Like it's so
That's
easy to
awesome.
just change and go in between them. I think that they've really hashed out like the multiplayer part of this early access. It feels really good, and it feels like they put a lot of effort into making it so that you can actually play with your friends. We haven't really run into too many problems. I've actually been playing most of this on my Steam Deck on the TV and been playing multiplayer with my friend, and I just use my phone to talk to her on Discord, which has been really funny. But and it works like smooth, man. It's been really easy. It's been really really smooth to do it and play. And so like I said, their multiplayer has been awesome. It's also incredibly stunning. They've done such a great job building this world, and as far as I know, for early access, because I've put like 24 hours into it, and I'd say I'm probably only halfway through the early access. To be fair, I'm very much taking my time. I have built like 3 or 4 bases. I like am enjoying it. I have moments where I'm just enjoying the grind and I just go out and play resources. So I'd really say that like in terms of advancing the story, I've probably only put like 13 or 14 hours into it. And the rest of it's just been for funsies. And so because it's just so beautiful. Like, it's so soothing at daytime to play it because the music's very nice, and like there's this whole area that's all like, it feels like Caribbean waters, and it's like so lovely. And then even as you're swimming
like
around,
that
it's really
crystal
nice.
blue.
Yeah, and it's so pretty. And then it becomes nighttime and it's fucking crazy. It's like a rave. It's like a rave, dude. Everything is lit up. Everything is super bright.
The
But
slugs are out.
and actually, speaking of the slugs, dude, I think it's best to harvest slugs at night because you can see them from
obviously.
above and they're so
Right.
bright and it's
Yeah.
so
So
nice.
there's a lot of like bioluminescent.
Totally. There's tons of it and it's so nice. And some of it's really like, it draws you in. You're like, what is that over there? I remember there's like this one time where I got there and like the horizon looked like a whole bunch of bright Christmas trees. And I was like, what is that? And I went over there and there's like all these like sea anemone things. And I'm like, this was really cool.
Ooh.
So it
I
really
love
captures this
the
like
beauty-
curiosity. Yeah, sorry.
The beauty in these games, specifically, there's something to do with water and how we just all love water as people. Like
Yeah.
in Valheim, the most beautiful part about that game is sailing on, in my opinion, is sailing on the ocean and seeing
I
the
agree.
sunset and the sunrise. And the screenshots I've seen from Subnautica totally emphasize what you're saying. It's like you're gonna have a fun time in a beautiful environment, and there's gonna be a lot of shit to do. And I feel like it is special to make a game that's beautiful, that stops people who are looking at the digital screen in front of them and go, "Wow, that's nice." That's,
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
stunning, but I want to talk for a moment of how fucking terrifying it is too. Because that's I think that's what's so cool that they've done here is that they have somehow made a Zen garden of hell. And that I think is very difficult to achieve. Because it's beautiful, it's very pretty, it's very stunning. But the predatory fish, especially right now, they're a little unbalanced to where they're quite annoying, and it's very, very, very common to like be doing something and then get snatched into like a fish's jaws and just get slammed like all the way across and like and it's scary. It's like terrifying, and you can't move and you can't do anything. You're like swimming along the bottom floor and all of a sudden this squid-like creature comes up, snatches you and launches you. Terrifying.
Wow.
There's a moment, without spoiling it too much, there's an area, a transitionary area where you go from one biome to the other and it's this huge open space, like think of like deep ocean. And then there's this massive, and I mean massive, like Leviathan thing that is
Ooh.
fucking terrifying, and it targets you from so far away and comes so fast at you, and if it gets
even
you
describing that is
dude,
scary,
it
by
is
the way.
Right.
so intense. And like
Undersea
it's
creature monsters are just extra creepy.
You know, when
Yeah.
Qui-Gon said there's always a bigger fish, I thought, that's fucked up. By the way, I don't like that.
but there is. Yeah. And so, you know, and there's definitely and there's like a really terrifying kind of moment where you're like, I'm going to go deeper and I can't see, and it's daylight and my lights aren't showing anything and I have no idea what's down here. So like they've completely captured that like fear of the unknown, of going straight down. And then you have these moments where if you go too far down, then like obviously you're running out of oxygen. So they've created
And
a
if
really
you have $1
great
billion, you instantly die. You get just crushed in a deep
Just
sea.
implode.
well, especially when
Has
you're
that-
using a PlayStation controller for your submarine. Yeah.
Right.
I feel like it's been long enough to joke about that, right? Like it happened,
Yeah,
what, last
it's-
year, 3 years ago? I don't
like
a
2
while
years
ago,
ago.
but-
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, but actually, like hull pressure is the thing you have to worry about because there
Oh,
is some
cool.
things that you,
I like
there is
that.
like something that you can go into that allows
So-
you to kind of go around and like, yeah, you could get, you
Can
could
you
have a
destroy
gauge
it.
and-
damaged? Can you get damaged to the point where then like your whole integrity is now
Blows up.
compromised?
It literally blows up. Yeah.
Are you pressurizing it with oxygen inside? And is there like you have to match the pressure or?
No, I think it's a lot more simple than that. It's a type
Can
of
you get
vehicle
the
where you can just go in
bends?
and it gives you oxygen.
Can you get the bends? Can you get the bends?
That's the real question.
No, but there are fish that like really disorient you. Like there's a fish that I think it's called a houndgar, and I fucking hate that thing. It reminds me of the Dilophosaurus, or the kind of dinosaur that goes like bah, like you know what I'm talking about
Yeah.
with all the frills and they're like bah.
The
And so,
frilly, yeah.
yeah, it's like that kind of it's like that mixed with a squid. And when it touches you, your whole screen like blurs, like you're so drunk that you
Oh.
don't know where the hell you
Like
are.
you got
You
drugged.
guys, were you guys scared when you watched Jaws? Have you watched Jaws?
I have seen
I-
Jaws.
You know, I watched it when it felt too dated to get scared. I think if I had watched it when I was younger, when it was
I did
scared,
watch
like,
it when I was younger, and I didn't get scared.
Okay. I'm reading this book about screenwriting, and it's always referencing Jaws, and I'm like, I have to watch this movie, but it sounds so goofy. Like, how could I be scared of this premise?
Yeah.
yeah,
And part
I
of
would-
it is
yeah.
like they didn't show the shark for most of the film. You know, it's just like a thing that's there. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I feel like it's camp horror for sure. Like I feel like it's
Camp
campy.
horror. Purposefully
yeah.
camp horror?
Yeah. I'm not
Yeah.
sure
No,
if
not-
it's on
no,
purpose. Probably
no,
not
it's
on
not
purpose, but
It's
I
not
think it's
campy.
funny. I think it's funny. It's kind of campy, but I don't know. Yeah,
It was a serious film when it came out. It was
well, sure, yeah.
Well, the book I'm reading is making the claim that it was a serious horror film. Maybe at the time, I'm not sure.
yeah.
What
I don't know.
how it is now, but
You should check out
my
Deep
point for
Blue
that is,
Sea.
well, this fear of the ocean and fear of sharks is maybe like the top level of that, but this fear of these
Mhm.
big unknown things and going deep and not being able to see, that's terrifying to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And here's a game where they're like, by the way, here it is.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying though. They've done such a good job of like it's so beautiful and therapeutic, and like even my friend Abs was saying like, oh, it's so soothing. I feel so relaxed. And then we're sitting there gearing up. We have everything ready, and we're like, okay, you ready to be brave? You ready to be okay? Let's be brave. Let's be brave. And then we like go down, and then we're like, fuck, we're running out of oxygen. And it's like intense. We're having so much fun. Like I think it's so
Great.
perfect with co-op and
Well,
such a
it
blast.
definitely
but-
helps having
totally.
another person with you when you're in
Definitely.
those
Oh, yeah.
creepy moments
And
that
I
you can
wonder
rely
if-
on.
I mean, the devs have come out and said that they plan to balance the predatory fish a little bit better, because tons of people have been like really complaining about how annoying and obnoxious the predatory fish have been. There's like 5 or 6 of them that I've encountered so far that I would say are predatory. Like they will attack you, they will do something, they'll either snatch you and throw you around or they'll hit you. And there's 2 spots. There's especially one spot where we have a base where it's like non fucking stop this thing. They're called marrow breaches. They're like kind of these, they're almost shark-like, and they just like get you in their jaws and they ram you into whatever's there. But you could go like halfway across the fucking map with one of those things. And so you
Ooh.
get pushed way far from your place, and it's just almost constant. And they give you these flares that you can throw to distract them, but it doesn't work that well. Like it feels a little
Yeah,
busted.
yeah.
And so that is something that I think that they've talked about, they're addressing it, they're working on it, but guys, the sheer amount of people that are like demanding from the devs to have weapons to kill these creatures has been crazy. That like the devs have come out with a statement where they're like, we're not creating a game that encourages killing the fish.
Violence.
Like,
Like there's no
that's not-
weapons, there's no violence.
They're
in
like,
this
that's not what
game.
this game is. Like, you are scientists studying, trying to learn things. You're not
Right.
trying to conquer the land. You're trying to learn and adapt with it, not destroy it. And so it's
Yeah.
just like,
You
I
ever
haven't
see
really
those-
Just shows how
National-
annoyed people are with it. But it's an early access game.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I don't really feel like it's that annoying. I think it stems from the same kind of fear of why certain games that are stealth horror are so successful and being terrifying, right? Like I think of like Amnesia, and it's because there's something extra vulnerable when you don't have any way to protect yourself. And I think that's feeding into a lot of people right now of like because these areas where the predators, I would argue, are way more obnoxious are in the areas that are a little bit more difficult. Like you've already kind of gone through some
Uh-huh.
of the scaries to get to these spots. And so like I feel like you're already kind of primed and on edge because like it was scary to get there. And then you have these predators where you're just like, God damn it, why can't I have a spear? And it's like they don't want that. They're like, we'll
When-
just
Yeah.
we'll work on making it a little less annoying.
When National Geographic photographers go into an area, they don't bring a gun. If they're going to look at polar bears, they bring a huge cage. They're going to look at gorillas in the middle of the jungle in the Congo. They bring camouflage. Like, I agree with the devs on it, and fuck anyone for asking kill these. Like, it would be I feel like it would defeat the whole premise of the game, honestly. Why are they
I think
asking
so
that?
too.
whole different game. Yeah. I mean,
I think
that's
so.
not what Subnautica is.
And I agree. But I do think that some people have brought up a really funny and interesting point. You already do kill actually a good chunk of the fish to cook them and to eat them.
That's different.
Rip.
That's
Yeah,
gathering.
right?
food.
So I'm
That's
like,
for food. Yeah.
That's not
but
out
in a
there
way, why couldn't
murdering.
you kill the marrow breach and then eat them? Maybe that's not good eating, though. Maybe it's not good. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it is interesting. I also agree. I wouldn't want them to have a weapon where I just kill them, because another thing too is that, and I learned this recently, that there's actually like no respawning of resources so far, which in a way kind of sucks, and also just makes it a little bit more important in what you're spending your resources on. And so if there's not really any respawning going on, I would have to assume that these fishes aren't exactly respawning much either.
I was going to ask you, Amanda,
you
are the
can run
predator
out.
fish eating the other fish?
Ooh, that's a great
Like, you know,
question.
we're going through the planet core. The quickest way to the Naboo. You know what happens. And the fish eats the other fish.
There are these little crab guys that are constantly like fighting like some of the other fish. They aggro a little bit on each other, but everything's kind of, and it's also why in a way I'm with the devs, because yes, these predatory fish are annoying, but they're not killing you. They're not like one shot. They're like these little jabs. Like most you're gonna lose is like 10 HP and you have 100. So like you're gonna be fine. I don't really feel it to be an issue. And I have seen some of the fish kind of poke around at each other, but I'm not watching a fish like actively eat another fish.
Okay, that's something I'd love to see. I'd love to
that
see
too.
the full
kinda neat.
ecosystem where, yeah.
But man, we've kind of already touched on it. Of like, I'd love to hear from people listening, especially those that are familiar with Subnautica, whether they think a survival game needs the option to kill some of the things that you're kind of interacting with in order for it to be fun, even if the enemies are kind of annoying. But yeah, it sounds like, Christian, you're with the devs. I'm with the devs. Taylor, where do you stand?
For Subnautica, I'm with the devs.
Yeah.
We're with the devs. We're
We're
with
with
you.
the devs.
I think even more generally, like survival games on the whole don't need to have killing or violence in order to be a fun game. Now, if that's what the game is about, sure, that's fine. You know, if that's what the devs wanted to make, but just not every game needs to have killing and violence in it to be fun.
True. I mean, unless it's a shooter like Ark. I'm
Right.
just kidding.
You can't come down from that.
I can't believe you're still on
that. That is the most
And I have
wrong
like a
perspective.
semi-automatic gun and I'm shooting down a dinosaur. All right, whatever.
It's not a shooter game.
No,
Disagree.
not officially, but whatever. Anyway, that's Subnautica 2.
I'm gonna
Highly recommend.
I'm going to email the devs of Ark and ask them if it's a shooter
They
game.
consider it a shooter.
Yeah, would you consider
Maybe.
yourself a shooter? Yeah.
Could be whatever it wants to be, right? No, just kidding. All right, well,
2026,
yeah.
Hit the button.
Alrighty, well, what do you guys want to play? Christian, I know this game. What do you want? You want to play it again?
So lots of shooting and killing in this one. Well, actually mild violence. Slapshot, Rebound. Guys, it's hockey season, by the way. And the Habs, the Montreal Canadiens, they're killing it.
Is it the Canadians or the Canadiens?
Montréal Canadiens. Les Canadiens. They're out there. The Habitants, they're killing it. I watched them get 4 goals in 10 minutes against Carolina. It's the semifinals of the NHL. They're going for the cup. They're the only Canadian team left. Of course, we're cheering them on over here. And it got me thinking, I got a hankering for hockey. And there's this physics-based hockey game that was super fun that we all played called Slapshot. And now they have Slapshot Rebound, which just is an overall improved version of the Slapshot that we all know and love.
And better Slapshot.
Yeah, I think it came out in 2024, so it's not new, but it's newer than the original Slapshot. And I couldn't even find the original Slapshot on Steam anymore. I think it's gone.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. So, I loved playing Slapshot with you guys.
Yes, and a long time ago, I interviewed the dev when it was just him working on Slapshot, and I was so happy that he got together with some other people and he put out Slapshot Rebound, and it seems to be doing really well. They have it's free to play. It's monetized with cosmetics. The cosmetics looks really cool. And what do I want from this game? Well, one, I just want enough free time to play multiplayer game with friends. But who knows if that's going to happen? That's not the game's fault if that doesn't happen. And number 2, hope and dream. I want a stick handle like Nick Suzuki. La tire la boue. Boom.
Hell yeah. Oh, Slapshot's
well,
cool.
if you do end up with some time, hit me up. Know. I'll play Slapshot Rebound with you guys.
Yeah, by mild violence, just hitting guys into the boards. Really nothing too.
Yeah. No killing.
Some fun violence. Some little violence light.
Yeah, violence cool that a whole crowd cheers on.
Out.
Yeah.
Let me see the teeth. Let me see the teeth.
Let me see.
Yeah. Taylor, what's on your want to play?
I want to play Metro Exodus. I'm sure everyone has heard about this game, but in case you haven't, it's the newest Metro game. They're shooter/stealth games. This one is more, they're creepy and scary. They're set in a post-nuclear winter Russia. So after the nukes have dropped, and as far as you know, in the earlier games, society only is existing in the metro tunnels, the subway tunnels. And there's different factions down there, and the surface is irradiated, but people will go up to the surface to scavenge for goods occasionally. And Exodus is taking place outside of the tunnels. There's a train that you end up riding on, and you're encountering people that are up living on the surface. But it's dangerous up there. There are monsters like mutants that have come about as a result. Like, some of them are called like gargoyles and various other types of mutants, plus the most dangerous animal of all, humans. So I'm looking forward to actually playing through this game. I loved the first 2 Metro games, and I got to thinking about playing this one because there's a new Metro game coming out in the near future called Metro 2039.
Fascinating.
So I want to play this to prepare for the new
Is that
Metro
coming out
game.
this year, Metro 2039? Sorry, hitting you hot there.
The release date is scheduled for late 2026.
Oh.
So there's not a firm release date, but sometime towards the end of the year.
Sometimes when they say late 2026, I'm like, that's early 2027.
Yeah, that's often what happens. But it does give me several months in order to get through Metro Exodus.
Yeah, when Emilio talked about these games, I've never played any, but he was saying they were quite beefy. Is that the case? Takes a long time to move through. It's like a RPG, open world. Yeah.
Did he play them all the way through?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my gosh. I feel like these are very scary.
There's some minor weapon crafting going on. I think in Exodus it might have some more RPG elements. I'm not sure.
Okay.
And their technical showcases, like Exodus was one of the first games that NVIDIA advertised with RTX or ray tracing on versus off. Yeah. So it's supposed to be really well optimized and beautiful.
Sweet.
So anyway, that's what I am looking to play. What about you, Amanda?
I'm also looking forward to playing a very beautiful game, but in a totally different way. I feel like Metro is very realistic, and Scale the Depths is what I want to play, and it's very pixelated.
It's also very fishy, Amanda.
It's
Full of
super
fish.
fishy.
game.
That's right. I'm on an oceanic vibe and theme today. And so I had to go with this game, Scale the Depths. It is a pixelated fishing simulator that is different than many fishing games we've all played. We've all played the fishing games where you throw the rod in and you get a little bar once you like hook them, and you got to keep it in the bar, like especially
Yes.
Stardew and like, Spiritfarer
And
is
if
a
you
lot
do
like
it
that.
10 times,
Nadia.
then you get to seduce the woman on the beach because
That's
you're
right,
playing
yeah.
Tales of Nadia fishing game, which
That's
is
right, which is really
Which was
hot
a
and
good
exciting.
fishing game,
It-
to be honest.
A lot
It
of
was
games
well
in there
done.
were very
it was
good.
fine.
Yeah,
I
it was
thought it was-
great.
yeah.
That's a great game. But anyway, so Scale the Depths, what's unique about it is that you are moving the hook down. So like as the hook's going down, it's almost more like a claw game, actually. Once you launch the fishing pole and like the line and the hook in, and once you get the hook into the water, you are moving the hook to the fish that you want to catch. And as you
Interesting.
upgrade your rod, you get to go deeper. And as you go deeper, there are even crazier things. Like there's one thing that is a serpent where you can go and capture a serpent. And then they have like carp and they have salmon and they have all kinds of stuff. So another big part of the game isn't just catching the fish. It's that you have to descale them and prepare them. And which is really therapeutic. You get a knife and you have to slowly move it across the fish's body. And as you're descaling it, pixels are just like exploding off of it.
cool.
But you don't want to go too fast because other than you'll rip like parts of it and it won't be completely clean. And then at the end, you cut off its head once you've like descaled it. But while this is going on, they're telling you very real facts about the fish, where you can find them, how large they are, when they spawn, what kind of bait you would want to use if you're really trying to catch them. Like, I really feel like there is a true person that fishes that was like involved in this, or whoever
So
developed
you're
it did their
learning.
research. Yep.
You're learning while you're playing
While
the
you're just
game.
doing this soothing descaling and while you're playing. And then once the fish is prepared and all ready, then you feed it to visitors that are coming up to your boat, which they just say cute
good.
little things. They're like, hey, I'm here for some fish, and it might be a little otter. Or and the creatures that visit you change. Some of them are very realistic. Like I said, an otter, there's like a pelican that comes, an osprey. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is normal. And then a kelpie shows up and you're like,
Oh, a kelpie.
okay. And
What's
then
a
the
kelpie?
a kelpie's like
kelp?
a horse
They're
creature.
like
like a
water horses.
Yeah.
Water horses, got it.
And then there was the Loch Ness Monster that showed up for one of the times. They really like
Oh,
the
yeah.
serpents. So you really want to go down deep to get the serpents. But
Classic
as-
Nessie.
as you bring the hook, right? As you bring the hook down, you can unlock treasure and like unlock different parts of the depth. And it's just like,
Oh, that
it's just
sounds
a
cool.
really nice like game that also actually teaches you about fish. And so I thought it was really beautiful. I beat the whole demo. The demo's
Sounds
out right now.
Perfect for
It
you
was great.
on your current fishy
Yeah.
vibe.
Fish cake.
I would like to contribute
to.
to the fish vibes with a traumatic fishing story, real short. May I?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
My fishy friend. So I'm 6 or 7. My grandpa at this time is becoming pretty problematic alcoholic, but it's just on the crisp of my family becoming aware.
Uh-huh.
But we're on the canoe going down the river. He's like 6 beers deep. And we get this fish up, and he's like, Christian, smack the fish till it's dead. And I'm like, okay. So he gives me this paddle. And by the way, this is one of
Billy
the biggest
stick,
fish
yeah.
I've ever seen in real life.
Big
It's
old
so
big.
fish. And,
And
you're
it's
small.
flopping.
You're 6
I'm
or
a
7.
small child. Well, I'm a small kid. And I have this adult paddle. And first of all, honestly, I can barely lift it. It's real heavy. And so I'm bringing it down on this fish, and it just won't die. Like the fish is still flopping. And I'm like, Grandpa, I'm feeling like I think I'm putting it through pain. Like I can't smack it hard enough to kill it. And he starts, getting drunk and being like, hit it harder, hit it. I know you could do it. Hit it harder. And I'm on this canoe.
Christian.
He didn't go that far, but it was behind what he was saying. and he's getting up and he's getting like real into it, like on his feet in the canoe, and the canoe's going back and forth, and we started taking on water.
Oh
and,
my
Oh, no.
and
gosh.
so I'm hitting this fish, this drunk man, my grandpa, who I love, but is going through this problematic time in his life. It's telling me to smack the fish, and the fish is flopping. It's not dying, and we start going real quick down. We go around this bend, and the river starts getting real quick, and I start feeling unsafe. I look up, and I remember these clouds are starting to form, and little snippets of
Oh,
rain are coming
no.
down. And anyways, we get out fine in the end, but the fish, he had to smack the fish. And by the way, he did it fucking hard. I remember what that looked like. And so anyways, that's my traumatic fishing story.
That's a
that
core memory that will always be with you.
It will always be with me. How unsafe. It was the first time I felt really unsafe around someone who I really trusted. And this floppy fish is just at this poor floppy fish is just at the center of it.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, at
I
least
didn't, by the way, I didn't know this would bring the room. I haven't really told this story to too many people. It kind of brought the room down. I apologize if this brings up any memories for listeners. Go to a therapist. It's all good.
Yeah.
Trauma is there to heal.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
And hopefully many listeners have really awesome fishing stories, which I would love to listen to if anybody caught an awesome fish.
I'd
So
love some cool fishing stories as
Yeah.
well. But if
Yeah.
you've got traumatic ones, you can share them as
You
well.
can share
Like,
them
if
too.
you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's safe. It's safe here. This is not a rockety canoe. And
Piloted by an alcoholic grandpa.
Yeah.
so yeah. All right. Well, hey guys, that's a show. So what's our community up to?
We're going to start off with some listener questions and corrections. First from Nyanko. He asks this in Discord. What is your perspective on the video game employment crisis nowadays? Do you also think it will stabilize in a few years? My crisis is, this is video game adjacent, but it will be happening with big video game companies. Meta had its most profitable quarter. They laid off 6,800 people or some bullshit, and they say, well, we're future-proofing the company. Future-proofing it against this AI investment that I think everyone knows at this point might not pay off, right? Like,
Yeah.
pretty big warning signs. And so they're future-proofing their company against this risk. They're hedging against it. And this is sort of mirrored in the video game industry, at least among the big players. And I don't think the crisis is over. I think we'll see a lot more layoffs. And I don't think it'll stabilize. What I think we're seeing is those people who are laid off hopefully have had some time to build up their skill set, have some money, have some capital. They can start their own game studio, come up with awesome ideas. I think it's easier.
More
Yeah, we'll see
small
more
dev
indies.
teams get started.
It's easier than ever to make a game, but unfortunately, there are still the same amount of winners. I think who those winners are going to shift to those indie studios. So that's, I guess, my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
That's
I
a good
also-
analysis.
Yeah. I also don't think it's going to stabilize. I think there's going to just become more and more of like a core group because people are going to like to continue to work with the people that they know and they trust and they like working with. And so when layoffs and things happen, I think some people will reconnect and be able to, but otherwise I think, yeah, like what you had said, Christian, I think hopefully a lot of those people are going to be able to either reskill or skill up and like have capital and be able to either pivot or to create something of their own. And then we end up seeing more indie things. But
It does sound like we're maybe in the midst of a paradigm shift in the industry rather than it stabilizing back to what it used to be.
yeah,
We're in a transitionary period where we're going to be seeing what the industry is going to look like as it changes. Because like Christian mentioned with Meta, but it's true with the video game companies, profits are up. The industry as a whole is making more money than it ever has. Globally, it's hundreds of billions of dollars in the video game industry. So it's not as if there's a lack of money, a lack of investment, a lack of talent or interest in gaming. But I think we're going to be seeing some changes and especially too with consumer habits, as globally the economy is getting tough for a lot of people. I know here in the States it is as well, and that's definitely going to be affecting people's purchasing habits. So
Yeah, and they're all playing fucking roguelites from our earlier. No,
That's right.
he had another comment. Do you know if less people are now taking video game related courses in the US in view of the crisis? Don't know about the US, but here in Canada, I think more people than ever are interested in game development and are attending the game development college that we have in the city. Every Friday there is an indie game developer meetup, and lots of people in the video game industry in Calgary go there and sort of work, and they're students, and so they can ask help for their project or just get to know people who actually work in the industry. And every year there seems to be more, or every semester there seems to be more.
Yeah.
So he said, I heard an expert discuss it on a French podcast, and I generated this infographic based on the script. I think his perspective is interesting because he estimates job destruction. Looking at layoffs per year alone, the employment crisis could be underestimated. Percent of layoffs over the total workforce is similar to other industries, but percent of jobs destroyed jobs being jobs that are gone forever, is super high. It can include potential jobs because of projects that were never made, because of studios never getting investment to hire a team. So there's no growth. He has the infographic in Discord. It's a cool thing to check out. I think this is a great question, Nyanko, and thanks for asking it.
Yeah.
It's a complex, nuanced, and complicated topic that is hard for us to answer on the show like this, but it's worthy of discussion. And I do want to shout out the infographic he made is really well done.
It's really cool.
So take a look at it.
From YouTube, Jordan Beck 2310 says, a fun riddle for you. What has no vest but also has arms?
No vest, but also has arms.
I feel like the premise of this. What is no vest but also has arms?
I feel like it's a lounge chair. Like a recliner.
What's a lounge chair?
Like a recliner.
It
like
has arms.
Behind you, Taylor.
A chair with arms.
Yeah.
A chair with arms, yeah.
But no vest. Like, I suppose that fits. Yeah.
What's a wavy, flavy, inflatable tube man? Are they vesting?
Ooh. That's a good one. Waving inflatable tube man.
An
arms of a company?
Ooh.
Subsidiaries of Electronic Arts. Arms, you could say.
Yeah. Those are arms. I would say an octopus has arms, but no vest.
Mm-hmm. Tell us if we got it.
Yeah, you're going to have to, Jordan Beck, you're going to have to tell us the answer next episode, please.
Marco A, 7263, my deepest apologies for almost getting those numbers mixed up. A podcast made me nostalgic for 80s food, Tang, fruit roll-ups, and Salisbury steak. This podcast, my apologies. Oh, we did that for you? Wow.
Miss Tang.
I
Tang
do
was
too.
great.
I could fuck up a fruit roll-up for sure, by the way.
Love the fruit roll-ups, fruit by the foot as well. Was it fruit by the meter in Canada?
That's so funny. Fruit by the maple syrup. From Spotify, Boomtrout says, did some yard work and got my garden looking a lot nicer today while listening to the episode. Nice. Did you hear that I planted my peas, Boomtrout? He goes on and says, did you all see the new Bubsy game? Bubsy 4D comes out on May 22nd. That's pretty incredible to me, as I remember playing the original Bubsy game, but it's almost a guarantee I won't be picking up Bubsy 4D.
This is Bobby.
This is, by the way, a Bubsy podcast.
Is this Bobby? Yeah, that's my question. Boom Trout, if you're not, maybe you haven't been listening to the show for very long or you missed some episodes, but we have a history with Bubsy. Our former caster Bobby was a Bubsy expert.
Does Bobby have a garden now? This could be Bobby.
Could be Bobby. Either way, I'm hoping.
Probably won't be picking up Bubsy 4D.
I won't.
It's on Amanda's.
I was gonna say it's on my fantasy league. I hope it does well. I bid on it. I wanted it. I got it, and I hope it does well.
And
I'm
good
in
work
second
on
place now,
the
I
yard
think. Yeah.
work. Wow,
Yeah.
second place.
Good
I'm
work on the
fourth
garden.
way-
way
Dimension.
down there.
Wait,
I've
what did
only had
Boom-
one game come out.
Boomtrout asked, he said something about Warcraft 3 last year, and he
Yeah,
said,
last
last
week.
episode, and he said he never played ladder. It can't be Bobby. Bobby is a ladder player.
Can't be Bobby.
I
Just on the
think.
same wavelength as Bobby. Bobby doesn't garden. He doesn't do it. I can't see
No.
Bobby having a garden. I could be wrong, but I don't think he does. He'd probably grow lemons if he did.
Yes,
A
we,
Boomtrout, by the
we
way,
are aware
Ocean.
of the new Bubsy game, Boomtrout, and we're keeping an eye on it.
But it's likely we won't. Maybe Bobby's special episode. He has to come down.
Yeah, he has to do a special Bubsy.
What do we plugin? What do we? You know what I'm.
I
what
just
are we?
wanted
You'd say it.
for our plug this week. I want to let everyone know, because it's still a new thing, but our podcast now comes out as video on all
Everywhere.
platforms.
Except Apple Podcasts, I do believe.
I think on Apple as well.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Exciting.
Everywhere you get your podcast, you can now access our podcast as a video. You no longer have to go to YouTube if you want to see our beautiful faces. This is a new thing for podcasts in general, not just us. So some of your other favorite podcasts might also be releasing video on there. Just check out your podcast app and see what that looks like. The other thing I wanted to plug is our DLG Steam Curator page. We have our own Steam Curator account for the podcast where we post and review the best of the best games that we talk about on the show. Not
That's
every
right.
game, but only the ones that are truly deserving. So
Something tells me Warhammer 40,000 Gladius Relic of War is not going to be on the.
not getting one.
No.
Not gonna make it there, right there.
Well, and also want to give a special shout out to the man that brings it every single episode. And this is our executive producer, Truthbringer. Thank you, Truthbringer, for being
Thanks,
a
Truth.
special extra support to the show of an executive
TB.
producer. That's right.
Tuberculosis. That's actually not the best.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
not good.
Better
I think-
nickname needed.
I like Truthbringer. That
Yeah.
works. Yeah. But all right, everybody, that's a show. My name is Amanda, and joining us today was Christian and Taylor. And tune in next week. Full disclosure, I have not read this yet, so this is a first. We're hearing it together for the first time. But tune in next week because I will be enjoying putting an innocent bystander in a pool and deleting the stairs without paying electronic arts in Paralives. And I love that so much.
All
Taylor,
right,
what's
well,
playing us out?
Playing us out today is some soothing and scary music from Subnautica 2. Goodbye.
Oh, I love that. Goodbye.